Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we are taking a look at the latest crowdfunding release coming to us from Button Shy Games, the latest entry in the Scott Almes designed Simply Solo series, and this one is called Hyperstar Run. Now in this game, we're going to be playing through the final level of a video game, trying to get through these progressive levels before we run out of time. So at the start of a game of Hyperstar Run, you are going to shuffle and deal out a certain number of level cards that are going to represent what we're playing through for the game. I'm here set up on a standard difficulty run, which is made of 10 cards. So these 9 are face down, and the first one we're starting on is face up. Right above that is going to be what represents our character that's also going to keep track of what run we are on. We're going to start on run 1, and if we don't finish the game by run 4, that is going to be a loss. Now there's going to be 4 main symbols in Hyperstar Run. There's going to be the green crosshair, the purple shield, the blue arrow, and this little asterisk that acts as a wild that you can pay any symbol in order to fulfill those conditions. Now the way that we're going to progress through each of these levels of the game is that we have to defeat at least one of the enemies that are on these level cards. You can see this first card we have here. There is one with a blue and a purple and another one with a green and a purple. Now the way that you're going to defeat those enemies is by discarding cards from your hand to match the symbols on at least one of those enemies. So the cards that we have at the start of the game are going to be the 2 equipment cards, which are going to have 2 symbols each, which is really helpful, and you're always going to have those at the start of the game. The other 3 cards we're going to have at the start are going to be dealt out randomly to us. So after you set up these level cards, you take out 3 of the remaining cards, and then those are going to be in your starting hand here. And so these, on the top left, you're going to see the symbol that they are able to contribute in the game. In this case, we have 2 cards that are giving us a purple shield, and then 1 that is giving us a green icon. Now, the other thing that we're going to be able to use these cards for is abilities. You're going to notice that some of the level cards are going to have abilities on the bottom text. In this case, we could flip one face down card in the level. That would let us flip over one of these face down cards and let us plan a little bit and see ahead of what card is going to be there. Now the way that you can activate these abilities is by taking any of the cards that are in your hand and flipping them face down, meaning that you can no longer play them for their symbol, right? You're going to be able to activate that ability, but you are functionally losing a card in your hand. So it's a trade-off of just what you want to use your cards for. This one is pretty straightforward. So we have our gravity inverter, one of our equipment cards. So I'm going to choose to discard that, which is going to contribute the purple and the green, and that's going to allow us to beat this level. When you beat a level, you progress your character to the next card, you flip it over, and now you're able to fight these enemies, and you're going to see a new set of symbols as well as a new ability. And if you're enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing to join the channel. I do a lot of Button Shy coverage, I do a lot of previews and reviews and list videos and all sorts of good board game content, and I would love to have you on board. Anyway, back to our side-scrolling adventure. And so this next card is going to introduce the other main way that we're going to be able to traverse through these different level cards, and that is with the combo system. And you can see here, this card has a green line, but there's also a purple line and a blue line on different sets of cards, and there's 3 sets of each of those colors. Now the benefit to moving through cards as a combo is that once you pay the cost of the first card, in this green case it has 2 green symbols, you're going to activate the combo. You're going to progress to the next card, and if that next card has the matching color, you only need to pay the single symbol that is in the middle of that card, right? You're saving an entire card worth of symbols and allowing you to progress further and having more cards for future levels. You want to try to line up those combos. Those combos are critical because you're not going to have enough cards to just discard 2 every single time to get through the whole level. You need to kind of build up those combos to really help you finish the game pretty quickly. So now we could either pay the blue and the purple, or we could play a double green. Now, before I mentioned that you can discard cards from your hand to contribute that symbol to defeating each of those monsters. But there's another way that you can also get additional symbols to help you along these levels, and that's by activating previous levels that you have finished. So you can see here, this first card has a green symbol. Now at any point in future levels, I can shift this down and use that button, that green button, to contribute to this next set of cards. So here I can contribute a green, and if I want to discard this green from my hand, that is going to give me the 2 green symbols to progress onto the next level, which also is a green card. So this is going to give us a chance to do a combo on this run here. And you can see here, the combo symbol in this example is going to be a wild. So we could discard any one symbol from our card or shift this down in order to move on to the next card, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to choose to discard this purple here, and that's going to let us jump on to the next card. and this is gonna have a blue. So this is gonna end our combo. We could play either 3 of any symbol, or we could pay 2 of the blues. So I think I'm gonna pay 3 of any symbol because I can contribute this equipment card that's gonna give us 2 symbols, and then I'm gonna downshift this one to use this, and it's gonna give us 3 wilds, which is gonna let us progress to the next card here, and we'll flip that one over there. And so here we're running out of cards here, but I think we have enough to still sneak another level in. So here we could shift the green here, and then we could contribute the purple from our hand, go on to the next level, flip this one over, and I think, oh, actually, we could go one more. So here, this needs the green and the blue. We could pay the green and the blue here, and we're going to be able to go to the next level. And I think this might be the end of our run, and this is gonna be the purple combo card you could see here. So at this point, we have no more cards in our hand, we have nothing else we can contribute, we don't have enough level cards here to keep going, so we're going to end our first run here. So we're going to take all of the cards that we had played back to our hand. Now, in addition to taking the cards that you had used to discard or used for abilities, you're also going to take the leftmost card and add it to your hand. So you're going to be growing your starting hand of cards as the game goes on. So yes, you have a lot of cards to traverse, but you're going to be able to build up your hand and build up your knowledge of what you need to play as the game goes on. So we're gonna reset this to 2, and we're going to go ahead and start our second run here. We have our nice little green combo here. So I'm going to pay 2 green cards to start the green combo, which is gonna let us jump here. And then I'm going to throw out a purple, which is going to let us go to the next card. But now it was great to start on that combo, but that introduces a new problem. At the end of this run, we are going to have to add this green card to our hand, and we're gonna lose that combo potential that we had going for us. So I want to now look for an ability card that's going to allow me to swap this card further into the line so that we can use that and abuse that a little bit more as the game goes on. This is really a game about trying to find the most broken little combos and trying to exploit them just to get you to the end of this level. So this ability here is going to be choose a face-up card among the 4 leftmost cards in the level and swap it with my current level card. So I'm going to flip over this card that's in my hand to activate this ability, and I'm going to choose to swap these 2 cards. So now at the end of this run, assuming I don't finish the whole game, I'm gonna add this card instead of the green one, which is gonna be helpful to us later on. So from here, we're gonna continue our play like normal. I'm gonna play this equipment card to pay this blue and purple, and it's gonna go on to the next run here. Now I'm gonna use another equipment card, and that's going to be green and purple, which is gonna let us go here. And now I don't have any more cards in my hand right now, but we do have a couple cards further down in this row that we can now use. Let's use a green and a blue, which is gonna let us go to this card. And now, this is actually a tough card to play with. We can use 3 wilds and let us go to this card, so that will show off this one. And at this point, we have no more left here, so we're gonna take our cards back, and we're gonna add the blue card, and these are going to reset. So I think we're gonna be in a good spot here. All right, so we're going into run number 3 here. And so let's go ahead and start our green combo. We're gonna go green, green, and then we're gonna go to the next card. And actually, that's a little bit of a misplay on my part. I have 1 blue symbol, but it's on my double equipment card, so it's kind of the worst way to do this, but we're gonna go ahead and do that, which is gonna let us go to level number 3. All right, so we're gonna play this. Let's keep this rolling here. Let's go ahead and press some buttons here. We're gonna go green and purple to go to the next one. And then we have purple and purple to go here, which will let us run here. And then here we have green and blue, so it'll let us keep us going. Can we cinch it here? No, this is gonna be tough. So we do have 3, we can go 1, 2, and 3, which is gonna let us go to the last card, which is gonna be a blue combo, but we're not gonna have enough, oh! Actually, no, oh no, I didn't activate this combo. I was gonna say, we have the purple for this combo, but we didn't start this run here. We had paid the 3 wilds, so we can't do that. So okay, we're gonna hit our dead end here, but we are gonna be in a good spot. I think we got this in the bag at this point. So we're gonna reset that. We're gonna go to round number 4. We're gonna take that leftmost card, but I think we're gonna be able to do this here. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's go ahead and use this to pay that card, and then we're gonna pay a purple, a green, and a shield to fulfill that enemy, and then we'll go ahead with a purple and a green to do this enemy, Now this one's the toughest one. So I'm gonna burn these 3 and let us go here. And here I can pay a green and a purple to beat this one. And here, the most important one, we could pay a blue and a blue to start this combo, taking us to the last card. And then we have a purple here to go on this last combo, which is gonna take us to the end of the game. We even had 1 card left over, which is pretty sweet. And so there you have it. We just played a game of Hyperstar Run. I actually didn't mean to play through a whole game. I was just gonna do an overview, but I kind of got caught up playing it. And actually, that is a great example of kind of how in love I have fallen with this game. This might be the most addicting solo button shy game that I've kind of connected with. There's just something about the quick combo building and just finding these little exploits to really get across cards as quickly as possible that I am just falling in love with. It probably helps that second to board games, video games are probably how I spend the most amount of my downtime. And so this little bit of a theme of speed running and trying to beat a difficult level of a game and retrying and using what you have kind of learned and what patterns you're building to get through this level, I am just really in love with it. I think the difficulty is just right. You could see there in the standard game, we went down to our 4th life, and that was with a little bit of a misplay. I also like the win conditions, right? Aside from just getting through the whole game, there's a couple of achievements that you can go for in the game, like ending with equipment cards in your hand, doing it on a certain number of runs. Again, it feels very video gamey with the kind of challenges you can set up. And usually solo games, it's okay, you get a certain amount of score, that's considered a win. I like these little achievements that are in the rules that kind of give you things to specifically go for and try to set things up in such a way that you can try to beat them. I'm also excited to see what the community does as kind of coming up with these custom challenges. I think there's a lot of cool stuff and cool scenarios that you can set up with these different cards. It just really captures that kind of frenetic energy of playing through a side-scrolling video game and trying to keep that momentum, beating enemies and doing that sort of thing. It works really well with this card system. I think that the abilities are pretty straightforward. There's not a ton of different card abilities. I think they're duplicated each 2 times. And so it's not too much overhead of oh my God, how do I want to manipulate all these cards? I feel that it keeps it breezy and quick enough that it doesn't bog down the kind of speed runny theme that the game has. The kind of art and symbology is pretty straightforward, but I think that the simplicity kind of helps play into that 8-bit, 16-bit video game feel that I think the game is going for. So I appreciate the kind of more simplistic art that is on these cards. And this is a good point to say that this is a prototype copy, so some of this art and symbology and some of the card art might change before the finished product. And so overall, this is just a phenomenal entry into the Simply Solo series. I am continuously amazed by what Scott Almes is able to do in this format. I think the frenetic energy that he captures in Hyperstar Run of running through this video game, through this side-scrolling game, trying to beat enemies, keep this momentum, but also having a little bit of strategy where you need to use those abilities to set up specific combos and make sure that you have the symbols you need to get to the end of it. It's just perfect. This might be my favorite in the Simply Solo series. And again, as a video game lover, I enjoy the theme and just the overall feel of it. And so if you like what you saw in this video, be sure to check out the campaign going live on Tuesday, January 7th. This is a great starting off point for the Button Shy 2025 lineup, and I can't wait to talk about more of what they're coming out later in the year. If you have any questions about Hyperstar Run, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you again for watching, Happy New Year, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.